Two words: share dilution. If you want to know what that has to do with the company Hertz, make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out. Welcome back to a new video. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. So today we're going to be going over the analysis on ticker symbol HTZ, which is the company called Hertz. And the reason why it's been downtrending a lot lately is due to COVID-19 pandemic. And if you guys don't know what Hertz is, it's basically a car rental company. And for the most part, people use car rental companies when they go on vacations because they don't want to bring their cars. But because COVID-19, people haven't really been going on vacations because they can't, that wouldn't be following social distancing, and there's a lot of things going on that prevent flying to different countries at the time. And so people aren't using the car rental companies, which means Hertz has no business going on right now, which is why it's been affected tremendously. But even before COVID-19, if you go ahead and look at the 5-year chart, you can see that Hertz has been having trouble way before COVID-19. It reached a high of over $50 on July 22nd, 2016. But after that, it just continued to downtrend. And if you guys watched one of my previous videos, which was about a week ago, I made a video talking about how legendary investor Carl Icahn tried to turn around the company. He owned around a little bit over 30% of the company, and he just was not able to turn this company profitable. And so he ended up selling his position for over a $2 billion loss. And so that should tell you something, that the probability that Hertz is going to be profitable and a good company in the long run is probably really, really low if a legendary investor like Carl Icahn decided to cut losses. But there's still a chance. And the main reason why I decided to make a video or an update on this is because Hertz just released some really important news that I think will affect the share price a lot, and it's probably going to affect it in a negative way. If we go ahead and look at the report, and this was posted on Friday, news came out about how Hertz is planning to do a $1 billion secondary stock offering, and it was just approved Friday by a judge. So I'm pretty sure they're going to go forward with it in order to try to raise cash to pay off some of the debt and hopefully prolong the life of the company. But what exactly is a secondary stock offering, and how does that affect the prices of the current shares? I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to check this article out. But basically, what a secondary stock offering is, it's basically like a second IPO. They're going to release more shares into the public, and so the number of outstanding shares is going to increase, and so that's going to cause a thing called share dilution. And what exactly is share dilution, you might ask, and how does that affect the stock price? Well, for the most part, share dilution is actually really, really bad for the investors and for the price of a company, because it's going to cause an overflow of supply of the stock, because they're just going to flood the market with a ton of new shares. To be exact, they're going to flood the market with enough shares of it that is equal to about 1 billion, because that's what they said. And so that's going to decrease the current value of the shares. We don't exactly know how much. That's going to be up to the market to decide to kind of react to that. But there's going to be a lot more supply than there is demand for it. And so that's going to cause each share to control less of the company. And so that's going to cause the current shareholders to lose value. However, sometimes that's actually okay, because in the long run, the company might end up surviving. However, for the case of Hertz, I don't think that's going to be necessarily a good thing, especially because, we can see right here in the title, it says that could ultimately be worthless. And why does that mean, or what exactly does that mean? Well, if you guys don't know, Hertz recently filed for bankruptcy, as we can see right here, and that news was released before the news of the secondary stock offering. It was about a week ago. And another bad thing was that they also received a delisting notice from the New York Stock Exchange. And so in the case that they do go bankrupt, and they're going under the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, so it's not complete bankruptcy. They're trying to reorganize. But in the case that Hertz does file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is liquidation, that means that they would have to sell all their assets and everything they own. They would have to pay back everyone. But not everyone is going to get paid in the same order. The persons that get paid first are the creditors. So basically all the banks or everyone who they received the loans from. And at the end of that cycle is the shareholders. And so if by the time they get to the shareholders, they already sold all their assets and they paid all the money to the creditors and they don't have anything left over, then all those shares become worthless and you lose all your money. And so that's why this could potentially mean that all these new shares are just basically going to be worthless. Another thing that I want to talk about is how it's affecting the Robinhood community, because this is completely insane. And I trade under Robinhood just because the commissions on the options are free, and I'm able to profit a little bit more when trading and selling options, and which is safer than buying stocks like this. However, here we can see how many users have been buying Hertz over the last couple of days and weeks, and we can see that the knowledge of and the basic understanding of how bankruptcy and all these share dilution stuff works within the Robinhood community is pretty low, because instead of selling all their positions, they're actually buying into a bankrupt company. So I'm pretty sure that they probably have no idea what it is that they're buying. We can see here that when it spiked up after the news of the potential secondary offering, the number of total holdings went from about 40,000 all the way up to 170,000. And so people just keep on buying into this stock that is potentially worthless, and they're starting to get greedy. And how exactly we can tell they're starting to get greedy? Well, like I said, Hertz reached a low of around 0.50 cents. That was about a week ago. And instead, people started piling into the stock when it was at 50 cents, because they, for some reason, thought that a bankrupt company at 50 cents was a tremendously good deal. I'm not going to judge their thought process, but, it's not really a good deal. Even a 1 cent company going through bankrupt is not a good deal. However, I'm not going to question it. They bought at around 50 cents, and instead of selling when it got all the way up to I think it was like $5.53, they ended up buying more. So they're already up more than 100% on this, and instead of selling and taking profits, they just decided for some reason that it was a good idea to start buying more of this company that is going to potentially be worthless in a couple of years. But if I was you guys and if I had invested or traded Hertz at around the 50 area, I would have definitely sold on that jump, because now it's already started to downtrend again. If you can see, it's at around 265. And if you ask me personally, just looking at their balance sheets and everything that is going on, I really don't think that Hertz is going to be a company that will be around in the next 10 years. It just doesn't seem like it's going to survive. It's like I said, it's already been having troubles even before the pandemic. And so I think the pandemic was just like the last straw. And if you do own Hertz, I would suggest that you should probably take a look at their financials and then think about whether you want to hold or sell for a loss, and potentially save yourself from losing your whole investment. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.